We need to forget everything we think we know about the space race. Forget the flags and the footprints. A totally new race has begun, and this time it's being fought with recycled fire. Let's get into it because this is a global competition, and it was all ignited by one revolutionary idea. You shouldn't throw a rocket away after just one flight.
And that quote, it just perfectly captures the spirit of this new era. This is a high-stakes, high-risk game, where, honestly, spectacular failures are just part of the process. They're the stepping stones to even more spectacular successes, and it's pushing the boundaries of what we ever thought was possible.
Right, so here's the thing you gotta understand. This isn't a repeat of the Cold War. The goal isn't just about planting a flag and getting there first. It's about building a sustainable and, most importantly, an affordable highway to orbit. The real prize here is economic dominance and, really, the democratization of space itself.
At the very heart of all this is this incredible piece of tech, the reusable rocket. I mean, think about it. Instead of becoming super expensive junk at the bottom of the ocean, the most expensive part of the vehicle literally flies itself back to Earth, lands, and gets ready to be refueled and flown again, and again, and again.
Look, it's impossible to even have this conversation without talking about the company that made it all real. SpaceX didn't just join the party, they crashed it, took the rulebook, lit it on fire, and then wrote a completely new one for everybody else to follow.
And their progress has been just relentless. It all started with that nail-biting, first-ever autonomous landing way back in 2015. But fast forward 2023, and their launch pace was so insane they launched more than the rest of the world combined. Today, these boosters are being reflown up to 30 times each, and they've successfully landed over 300 of them. They've proven the concept at a scale that is just mind-boggling.
And this chart, wow! This shows you their dominance in the starkest terms possible. SpaceX now commands over 60% of the entire global launch market. Just let that sink in. One single company is responsible for the majority of everything we send to orbit.
This number right here, it says it all. Over 300 times, they have brought an orbital-class rocket booster back from the edge of space and landed it safely. This isn't an experiment anymore, folks. It is a finely tuned, reliable, well-oiled machine. And that experience is their single biggest advantage.
But SpaceX isn't playing this game alone anymore, not by a long shot. So let's pivot and take a look at the challengers. Because a whole wave of competitors is rising up all around the world, and each one has their own unique idea on how to master this reusable flight thing.
And this field of rivals is absolutely fascinating. Right here in the US, you've got behemoths like Blue Origin with their monster New Glenn rocket. Their plan? To catch the returning booster with a giant chopstick system on the launch tower itself. Then you've got scrappy innovators like Rocket Lab, who are planning to literally snatch their rocket out of midair with a helicopter. Yeah, a helicopter. Relativity's taking a totally different approach, aiming to 3D print 85% of their rocket. And meanwhile, over in China, the state-backed powerhouse CASC is moving incredibly fast on its own vertical landing tech for its next-gen moon rocket.
The global picture is really a tale of two different speeds. Europe seems to be waking up, scrambling to catch up after losing a ton of ground, and they're funding new companies to do it. But Asia, and especially China, it's a completely different story. It's a full-on surge with massive state investment pouring into both government and private companies to close that technology gap, and fast.
So why is everyone chasing this? What's the big deal? Well, it all comes down to simple, brutal economics. The math behind reusability creates what some have called cost carnage, and it has completely turned the business of space on its head.
This chart right here, this is the mic drop. Back in the space shuttle days, sending just 1 kilogram to orbit, that's about the weight of a pineapple, cost over $54,000. With a reusable Falcon 9, that cost plummets to $2,700. That's not just better, it's a 20-fold decrease. It's a different sport altogether, and it changes everything.
So how is that even possible? Well, the secret is surprisingly simple. That first stage, the giant booster with all the ridiculously expensive engines, that's about 70% of the rocket's entire price tag. For decades, we were essentially trashing the most valuable part after every single launch. Saving it, that's the whole game.
So the whole process becomes this beautiful, elegant cycle. You launch it, you land it, you refurbish it, and you fly it again. And get this, that refurbishment step, it costs less than 10% of building a brand new booster from scratch. You can just imagine how those savings pile up with every single flight.
The endgame here, the ultimate vision for the entire industry, is to make launching a rocket feel as routine and economical as flying a commercial airliner. The big, audacious goal is to push that cost per kilogram below $100. $100! That would open up space in ways we can barely even imagine today.
Okay, cool. Rockets are getting way cheaper. But so what? Why does any of this matter to us back here on Earth? Well, because this race isn't just for bragging rights. It's a race for a truly colossal economic prize that is going to reshape our world.
How about $1 trillion reason? That's with a T. That is the projected value of the global space economy by 2040. This rocket technology is the key that unlocks all of that value, transforming space from a place we just explore into a major domain of economic activity. And a cheaper ticket to orbit means a whole universe of possibilities just opens up. We're talking about global internet for billions of people who don't have it now. Dozens of new, more powerful space telescopes. The very real possibility of orbital factories building things you can't make on Earth. And yes, even routine, affordable trips to the moon and accessible space tourism.
So you get this incredible 1-2 punch happening at the exact same time. On one hand, science gets turbocharged. Agencies like NASA can suddenly afford way more missions than ever before. But at the same time, commerce explodes as entire new industries, from satellite broadband to in-space manufacturing, suddenly become profitable for the very first time.
And all of this leads to a fundamental shift in how we even think about what's above our heads. It's no longer just a place we visit once in a while. It's becoming a domain, a true extension of our economic and scientific world, just like the land, the sea, and the air.
So, after seeing all the players, the incredible tech, and the trillion-dollar prize on the table, it all boils down to one question, right? In this global competition of recycled fire, who's actually going to win?
But here's the twist. The answer isn't what you might expect. It's not going to be just one company or one country planting a flag and declaring victory.
The real winner is humanity. It's all of us. Because this intense, fierce competition is what's driving down costs and opening up access to space for everyone, for scientists, for entrepreneurs, for students, for you and me.
It's an absolutely incredible new chapter in our journey, one that's creating a future where the benefits of space are available to all as we ride into this new era on wings of recycled fire.